Man, man, listen, man, they've been going fantastic. I've been in these YouTube streets. Just listen, watching LA niggas panic has been my favorite pastime hobby as of lately, bro. When I'm watching these dudes on YouTube doing Bible study now, and the same niggas was on YouTube last week setting up fades.
Seriously? Are you
I'm being real. What, bro? Like you locked in with a
shoe and
Chucky
go
Woody?
slap here right now with his rascal shoe right
Flacco,
there?
hey,
Not,
so
don't put that up
Really
first.
I'm being real.
No, Tiger, that's just a little taste of why Shereice is gonna get so mad at Flacco. Now, honestly, for those that may not know, I highly doubt that if you clicked on this, you don't know who Shereice is in relation to the whole no jumper RICO and well, rolling 60s RICO technically. But she's Loose Cannon's wife. You know, the dude who went on. Anytime I've realized something, there's a pattern. Anytime Loose Cannon is wearing a basketball jersey that may or may not fit properly, he's going to verbally crash out. That's just the history there. But all jokes aside, Flacco's taking this shit as a joke right to the wife of someone involved's face, and it's like, why are you playing with this man like that? He feels like just because the feds are watching, that there could be no reactions to his actions and or words at this point. And it's really disgusting what we're about to break down right here. But we're gonna break down Flacco essentially doing a victory lap right in Shereice's face as she's, essentially mourning her husband being in federal custody, awaiting trial. He's doing a victory lap on all LA dudes, but essentially, don't you have to group loose cannon into that? Saying that he got grouped up and charged up? Like, this is insensitive. This is the definition of insensitive. He doesn't care at all, other than the fact that he's getting YouTube checks off of the downfall of other black men. And we're going to get into that and more because it's funny. Before this Sunday call-in, this is on Charisse and Loose Cannon's YouTube page if you want to check out the full video. She does this thing called Sunday Service. But before this Sunday service, on Friday, Lush kind of went in on Flacco, and we're going to do it Star Wars style, where that's going to be the second part of this video, is that. But first, let's get into Flacco just directly disrespecting everything that Loose Cannon and his wife built over the years, and disrespecting Loose Cannon to her face. And as y'all seen in the intro slash like preview, she ain't going for it, and rightfully so. And guess who else ain't going for it? The realest dude at No Jumper, Lush won. So let's get into it right now.
This shit has been amazing, bro. You feel me, man? Listen, we finally get to see the kryptonite of an LA nigga, which is the feds, right? You niggas been acting unusual as of lately, man.
Is that because of the interviews with No Jumper? Y'all pressing for more LA interviews only?
Nah, listen, because they know, listen, the feds ain't stopping at rolling 60s. They know they ass is next. So, because they know they asses is next, niggas trying to have Bible studies now on live streams when last week they was talking about setting up fades and crashing and being really one of them ones. Nah, bruh, nah. I thought niggas was really one of them ones. So if you really
Peep the uncomfortable smile on the host of this show's face, but Flacco can't pick up on social cues, so he doesn't notice that he should probably chill out. That was a good question by Seti Nash, though, saying, aren't you a part of the problem? But he doesn't view black men becoming incarcerated as a problem in society or indoor for society. Mind you, black fathers at that. Loose Cannon he has more kids than what he has with Charisse Mills, but they just had what I believe their child is 6 months old, going on 7 months old. Do you know how terrible that is to have to leave your child's life as their life just begun? Do you know how that can possibly affect the woman in this situation too? Prayers up for Shereice, because she could still possibly be dealing with postpartum depression, and now her husband and father of her child might not ever see that child outside of visitations. And Flacco's laughing about it, thinking it's all fun and games. This is people's actual lives. Regardless of which side you fall on, And yes, of course, justice will be served, and they're gonna do the whole process of finding if people are guilty, but they're innocent until proven guilty. And even if they are found guilty, you're a sick individual to laugh at the misfortunes of others to this degree. You know, knowing what to laugh at and what not to laugh at, I feel like is an important skill, or it's not even really a skill, but just like, man, have some remorse for people. Have some feelings. Is Flacco a sociopath? But anyways, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into an old clip as well that shows that Flacco has, a pattern. I did a video on this already about how Flacco probably has been tipping off the Alphabet Boys all along with all types of illegal activities that he's witnessed. Um, he's probably the biggest CI in the whole building. But we're gonna get into another old clip, so stay tuned for that as well. That shows him just blatantly laughing at the demise of other black men.
One of them ones. Stay one of them ones, bro. Like, you niggas past us now because the Fed's coming. I don't know how, bro. You feel me? Bro, I'm perplexed.
So
I'm
you do
confused.
realize the goal is to never go to jail, right?
They should have knew this rule a week ago. The feds come and got you niggas that scared, so now you niggas doing Bible studies? Nah, bro. Y'all ain't know the feds was watching? Y'all ain't know the feds see everything? Y'all ain't know the feds don't like gangs? The facts. No, but listen though. All I'm saying is this, bro. ODM Slim was telling me he gonna kill me a month ago. Now ODM Slim is talking about, man, bro, the streets ain't for everybody, man. Man, kids, bro, don't get in the street. Nah! You niggas was trying to kill Flacco a month ago. And now you niggas back to
Flacco,
streets.
you been shot at in
No,
LA?
bro, you niggas is killers, bro.
Flacco, in Los Angeles County, you been shot at?
ODM Slim said he was gonna kill me a
Is
month
that
ago.
a yes or no question? Have you been shot at?
Yes.
By who?
Hey, listen, I think ODM Slim did it, but it's unconfirmed.
When?
I don't
When?
know.
Now he's full blown lying on another creator's name just because they've had a verbal back and forth. You're straight up putting lies on this man's name. Technically, ODM Slim could sue Flacco if what he's saying is not true. Now I'm not tied in enough. Like, I've shouted out ODM Slim here and there because I watch his content here and there. But I'm not tied in enough to know if what Flacco is saying is true or not. But if it's not true, ODM might want to pull a trick out of Flacco's bag and sue his ass.
I don't know, man. Feel me?
When did you
I
allegedly
don't
get
think
shot
ODM
at?
Slim did that.
Last month at the Beverly Center, man.
Last month at the Beverly Center, you said that you got shot at.
See, nah, he's saying more. First, what I just said applies to just saying that ODM Slim said that he's going to do something to Flacco, other than catch a fade, which Flacco is documented for asking for a fade, actually. But he's saying that an action took place, which we know is a lie because we know Flacco would have been posting about it. He would have been on No Jumper yapping about it. He would have been on his page yapping about it. We seen he dropped a whole 3-hour video addressing his haters. What, 4 months ago, 5 months ago? You really think that if Poetik Flakko, if Frederick Jalo, my bad, was allegedly popped at, which I do not condone any violence, but if that actually happened, do you think we wouldn't have heard about it until right now on the Charisse Mills Sunday service? See, the thing about Flacco that I noticed, y'all, is when he believes he's on a smaller platform than his own. Even though Loose Cannon and Shereice Mills each have 1 million followers on Instagram themselves as individuals, as well as a big reality TV following and all that, right? But when he's on platforms that he perceives as smaller than his own, oh, this ain't gonna get that many live viewers. He talks real freely, real loosely, as if he's just talking to his friends in the Discord. Sound familiar? Anyways, back into the clips.
Yeah, man.
Where your police report?
Listen, bro. I kept it solid. I'm trying to keep it in these streets. But now, guess what? I'm done keeping it solid, bro, because all you niggas ratting now.
So let's understand something. The person you said you were, you would tell on people who did harm to you or whatever, and all of a sudden you didn't want to.
I was trying to keep it solid for the first time in my life. Feel me?
So let me ask you this question. Does ODM Slim know the No Jumper address? Has he been up there?
Hey, listen, and he ain't that
That's a
stupid.
yes or a no.
He's
Oh,
definitely been up
I
there.
don't know. I
So
don't
when
think so.
Kelpie got punched on,
Mm.
ODM Slim didn't come over there and help break it up? Was he not there?
Oh, I don't remember. Was he there?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
So he's
Welcome,
been to that building for sure 3 times. You
Sunday service.
Yeah.
you
What
telling
up?
me,
He's scared of the feds now,
Lush, what
apparently.
up? You telling me that a person that he know where you work at, if he really wanted to do you harm or even troll you telling me he couldn't just pop up there?
Wait, pause though. And what kind of person is he?
So
Wait though. What's up with bro's face? Did y'all see, like, am I crazy? Whose face does this? Like, I've watched shows about people with full blown Tourette's and stuff. I'm not about to make fun of no documented disabled people, but to my knowledge, Flacco does not have any documented disabilities other than the stutter. What's up with the facial expressions, bruh? This dude is disgusting. I swear, the more and more I study the content that Officer Frederick Jollo allegedly drops, the more and more he seems like he was planted here. Like, you know how there's industry plants? Like I did in my whole, what is an hour-long video up on the page, right? Called Flacco Told, or that's the thumbnail at least. Go and check that out. I'm going to drop it right here. The screenshot of it. Go check that out. I think Flacco Ben had animosity towards Brick Baby. If y'all watch Point and Shoot, which most of the people that watch my page do watch Point and Shoot, Point and Shoot has a video from like a year and some change ago saying that documents the whole hidden animosity of Flacco hating Brick Baby. I then realized once the feds did a sweep that everything that Flacco says he'll snitch on and hates and wants to see dead or in jail, Brick Baby checks all those boxes, and that video documents that. So go check that out when y'all get the chance. But my thing is them facial expressions, bruh. That shit is despicable. Yes, I'm a faceless channel, but I promise y'all, when I decide to do a face reveal, I have every right to roast this man's appearance. I promise you that.
you said that he threatened your life, right?
He said he will kill me when he sees me.
Said he would, right?
Yeah, he said when he sees me, he gonna kill me. You feel
Right.
me? Listen though. Hey, listen though. I'm telling niggas right now, bro. Hey, listen, bro. Listen. I'm calling. Listen, bro. I've been monitoring every one of you niggas live streams, bro. Waiting to hear you niggas make a threat against me again,
Okay.
bro.
He just said he's doing what? Bro, just proudly monitoring everybody's live stream so that he can see what he can report to the police. What's up with bro? Does Flacco secretly have a badge? Is he like 600? He's actually a part of the force? Big Denzel training day? Is that what we got going on here? I think so. I think so. I'm not gonna lay it all out on this one again, but it's just more of the same at this point. He's just proving me right every time he opens up his mouth when it comes to this indictment talk and all that. Like, he literally has been spamming the whole rolling 60s no jumper RICO videos ever since it happened. He took off of work basically for the whole week. So I'm not coming no jumper to make Adam some money, to make the team some money, to help y'all get 1 million views or something. I'm not gonna come in and be a team player. To hell with that. I'm sitting in my tiny ass living room or third bedroom, whatever that is, whatever that little narrow ass room is that his big ass is sitting in. Big bison bat got crumbs in the beard, and I'm running it up. I'm running up a bag, and I'm helping the feds. Now, keep in mind, there's a in a how did Flacco get his initial bag, his initial YouTube clout off of the murder of young Dolph, R.I.P. Right? So young Dolph, his unfortunate passing is how Flacco even got into relevance, is how he even got a name in this shit, and it's how he first got his first real YouTuber money. Where it's like, oh, this is life changing money off of the worst thing that could happen to a human being on this earth. And ever since then, Flacco has been addicted to that. But it gets deeper. Flacco he's gonna mention it later in the clip that I've pulled from the No Jumper Clips page. Shout out to that. It's Flakko basically saying, "Yo, the feds was offering $200,000 for any information that leads to the arrest of the people that shot up the cookie store that put young Dolph down, R.I.P." Right? So he's saying, "Where's my money at? My videos, in my mind, helped lead to the arrest of the people that did that horrible act on young Dolph." This is Flakko's words, not mine, not my opinion. I'm basically quoting him at this point. This is the type of person we're dealing with. So he's trying to act all cordial and cool like he's not laughing right in Shereice's face. But remember now, I referenced the point and shoot video. In that point and shoot video, Flakko's basically saying, or not Flakko saying, point and shoot is basically pointing out how Flakko hates Brick Baby because Brick Baby is spitting game to Zan Princess, a coworker of theirs at the time. So since they're work husband and wife, and Flakko has a serious crush on Zan Princess, but she does not reciprocate at all towards Flakko, and she's messing with Brick, allegedly. Since that whole dynamic took place, Flakko's hated Brick Baby ever since. So there's also well documented that Flakko likes to comment other men's what they do with their body parts. Loose cannon. That brings us to Loose Cannon and Charisse Mills. Flakko probably finds Charisse Mills attractive. He's jealous of Loose Cannon, so he's laughing in the face of his wife that ha ha ha, your husband's gonna be behind bars for the rest of his life, is up to me. That's really what's going on here, in my opinion. Now that's opinion. Anyways, let's get back into it.
5324. Call it right now and see what it says.
I'm just gonna search it up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's Tampa though. That is a number. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit memorized, y'all. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's
That's
an
crazy.
FBI hotline number. Meaning if a street nigga come online and threaten you, or hey, if you see a street nigga on the podcast doing something, hey bro, you call that number, nigga.
Now keep in mind, this is Fat Man, not Batman, that we're looking at right here. Flakko, to our knowledge, has never been harmed physically, maybe mentally, because, a street N-word, in his words, may have got a girl in high school or something that he couldn't get, and he's hated them ever since, or whatever it is. But it has nothing to do with him getting jumped, has nothing to do with him being called out for one too many fades, and he got slept and was made fun of, went viral on early day YouTube when they was letting people, high schoolers just post fight videos and stuff. At least that's the era of high school I grew up in. If you got into fade in high school, middle school, you was on the tube or on World Star. That's when people started fighting for their life. When them smartphones came out, you had to fight for your life, because if not, you about to be viral for the wrong reasons. To our knowledge, that never happened to Flakko, which means we can only come to the conclusion that the reason why Flakko hates street dudes is because he's always lost his crushes, his childhood crushes, to the street dude, or to the football player, to the basketball player. He was a tennis player. He was captain of the tennis team, y'all. Lame. A loser. So of course he hates so-called street dudes. Some of these dudes probably weren't even street dudes, like how he generalizes them. Flakko is more racist than the most racist of white men. Shoot, one can make the argument that he should be wearing the Kanye West academics interview attire. You know what I'm saying?
Investigation. You just
Yeah.
you switch it. That's all.
Okay, yeah.
No,
So
hey,
and that's what Brick Baby was tripping about. That's why he didn't want his shit talked about, because it was an open investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Brick said, with pause, bro. Brick said on a podcast, I got more murders than you got hats. No, sorry.
See, that's not what they're talking about. Lush is referencing when, in the last No Jumper show that Brick Baby was a part of, the one with Loose Cannon, when Whack 100 calls in and starts talking about an open case, and Brick threatens to walk off of the show, so Adam had to take control over the call, otherwise Brick was about to clock out early. Yeah, that's what Lush is talking about, because Lush, believe it or not, has some sense. Everybody in this chat has sense except for Big Freaky Fred.
Sorry, I got more murders than you got squabbles.
First of all, there
Why
you go
no
again.
there's an open investigation?
First of all,
Get it right, Flacco. He said skeletons.
yeah, he said skulls. First of all, there you go, misquoting. That can
He
mean
said skulls or he said
He
body.
said, I got more skulls than you got squabbles.
Yeah,
Sure
he
did.
said I got more skulls than you got squabbles. It was an alliteration, 2 S's.
So, with that being said, right?
Yeah.
Oops.
Go ahead, let's do your one, player. I see you.
Come on. No, hey, I'm just not gonna allow it. It's crazy to even highlight that. And like Flacco, I know you don't mean bad, and you know that's
Nah, see, that's PC principle, Lush. He keeping it PC, but he knows Flacco means bad. He's been around for all the moments, or maybe he was too, intoxicated and things of that nature to remember that Flacco means bad. In Flacco's mind, he's the biggest villain in these YouTube streets. He thinks he's big deleted over here. You ain't deleted. You ain't part of the Arkham Asylum. You over there with the civilians. And I'm not saying that I'm a street nigga. Don't mix my words. But see, us commentators, we're under attack right now. But they can't do nothing to stop us. This is free speech. You got people whose origins is from, honestly, the ops of this great country. I'm not going to say any names, but if you could put 1 and 2 together, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all ain't even from here trying to impede on our right to speak freely and criticize public figures on this good internet that belongs here in the red, white, and blue. If we wanted to be oppressed and not be able to speak freely on the internet, we'll pack up and move to China. We'll pack up and move to Russia and all that. I don't want no viewers from them countries. Yeah, there's a lot of numbers over there, but I don't want no viewers from there. Because guess what? Even if I did want viewers from there, we cannot be viewed over there because they do not allow for people to speak freely, and they for sure don't allow for people to publicly criticize public figures. Public figures like Jalo, like Adam 22, and the whole No Jumper building at times. But see, just because folks that made millions of dollars off the tube, they feel like they can change how free speech works. Ain't that something? I'm not on no Myron Gaines or on no Kanye where I'm on here talking crazy. I'm censoring myself. I use a lot of profanity in my daily life. Ever since I got monetized, I barely use any profanity. And they still want to try to censor videos like this right here. So I'm going to say it now before we get into the next clip, because we still got a little bit left on this Sunday service before Shereice finally has enough of Flacco's nonsense, which we're going to get to that. But if you're enjoying this video, or if you just rock with being able to express yourself freely, go on and like, comment, and subscribe right now. And actually, I'm going to go a step further. In speaking of free speech, I know some of y'all's comments gets automatically deleted by the automatic moderation settings of YouTube. But I can take it off basic moderation. I might go full Star, the Star Report style. Shout out to Star. I've been watching him since like 2015 with the live stream. Still going strong on the tube. He done put people on to buying grocery store franchises and getting a passive bag that way. I'm gonna take the moderation off the comment section. Y'all can say whatever you want in my comments from now on. If y'all end up getting arguments in them comments, that's on y'all. I'm not about to go back and forth with none of y'all. But hey, I might be reading it like it's in the morning paper. I ain't gonna lie. I like a little mess. But anyway, speaking of a little mess, I just have to get that off my chest because I've noticed some things in the works that people are saying about commentary and reaction channels that I don't take a liking to. Well, just because we're not setting up the cameras ourselves, and this is, bro, what the editing that this takes, just the time to edit these alone. And I know not everybody edits their videos. Some people just do good old flight reacts type reactions. But even that is his right to comment on something, right? Why would we support you? I don't get it. They're mad at certain people like who I've criticized in the past with like FMW makes it hard for you to react to their content. But guess what? they've eased up on that. It's either they've eased up on it or my edit style gets around it. I'm not sure. But for the most part, it seems like they've eased up on that. But they're getting on them, ironically, saying, yo, FMW over there reacting to no jumper stuff for too long throughout their show. I'm about to send the strike. And that's really because a little somebody planted a little seed in 22's ear. Because I've given Adam props on not being a hoe when it comes to reaction and commentary channels. But I don't know. He's starting to listen to some bad advice, I think. Because the platform ain't moving. It's been stagnant. And now you got all this bad legal issues going on. So it's got people scrambling and panicking, trying to silence us? The people that are bringing more views to your shit? If now I could be wrong, but I feel like after watching a reaction or commentary video, a lot of people, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people go and look at the full form of what that person just commented or reacted to. At least I'm that way with the content that I view. Let me know, if you want to in the comments if that's what you do as well, because they're trying to take away. This is a big chunk of YouTube. Hate it or love it, and see, my thing is this. If you can't take it, don't dish it, right? That's what I was raised on. But I could take it. If somebody wanted to make a reaction channel right now that just reacts to all of my reactions and criticizes all of my talking points, go ahead. Go ahead. Have at it. I don't care. I talk about what other people are doing online. So if somebody online wants to talk about what I do online, that's their right. That's their free speech right to do so. Anyways, back to the show.
Wait, pause. You think I'm highlighting it?
Well, yeah,
You
but
just said it.
yeah,
You think the fans got this already?
huh?
Listen, you think at this point the fans need our help to find the clip they're looking for?
The RICO was created at all?
Mobs.
It's specifically why?
Because the mafia bosses was so great and not talking on the phone. Again, these
They
niggas
still got caught up. What you talking about?
No. Look though, the mafia bosses at the top
Look
was
how
so great
Escobar
at
is.
the press.
Look,
The feds couldn't
hey.
link them for shit. So again, the Ricos had to be here. Why? Because again, we're charging you with everybody that's under you. But I'm saying is this, bro. Here's why the Ricos is important. The niggas at the top who's causing destruction, if we don't take them out, then once we take away their understudies,
I agree. And that's
Just
what
to
okay,
just
so
to shorten it, everybody in the RICO is not literally, I BS you not, they're not actually a part of any organization. If you go with the YSL RICO, there were literally 7 people in there who never even met Young Thug, never talked to him, didn't know him, hadn't met him, ain't conversed with him in any type of capacity. So what they do is they literally create this big old web that is trumped with conspiracies. That's all it is. It is literally nothing but conspiracies.
To say, yeah, I saw him do that, which they may have not even seen it, just to help themselves, because they're expecting people to talk just to help themselves, which is sad. And for y'all who don't know, Semi Nash, used to manage Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? He works with YSL right now, especially with that 20 versus 1 thing. They just got this great Netflix deal, so congrats to that. So he's speaking.
So why he not locked up?
Facts. Seriously? Are you
I'm being real, what, bro? Like you locked in with a
shoot and go smack here right now with his Ross Clout shoe right there.
Don't put that up first.
I'm being real.
Shereice Mills holding up that shoe at the end, threatening to hit him with it, like how a mother would to their bad kid that's talking out of place, talking out of character, talking reckless. It made me realize something. To wrap up that clip, Flakko's parents failed him. And they failed him in a very serious way. It goes back further than just his own ideology. No child should be just online all the time, especially in what I believe was a 2-parent household. The young boy that was allegedly victimized by academics online, or at least kind of like put in a bad situation. Victimized might be a strong word. It might not. I made a video about it. YouTube's out here heavily moderating that to where they don't really want people to see that. Is age restricted, like what happened to a lot of the videos that other creators did criticizing academics on that situation. But my point is, that kid's parents passed away in a war. RIP. He's online all the time because that's the only way he has friends. He's a refugee in a country where he doesn't speak the language. So all he has is streamers and live chats and discords to have any type of social hour. You know what I'm saying? Flakko chose that life. You know how Bane says, I was born in the darkness, you merely adopted it? Yeah. Flakko adopted that life. He wasn't chosen by it. So that, like, you know, people go through tragedies all the time. My heart goes out to anybody going through something that you know leads you to only being online to ease the pain. That leads you to only working out, you know, doing whatever you can to try to numb the pain. And my heart goes out to that. But what my heart doesn't go out to is somebody whose parents just simply failed them by letting them be on the computer all day and all night, eat whatever they want, drink all types of sodas, and end up looking like this blob of a man that has the brain of a 15-year-old boy that's making jokes that doesn't even make his classmates laugh. You're not even funny. You're not entertaining. You're just despicable. You're a despicable excuse of a man. And honestly, I'm disgusted. Every time I look at this dude, I am disgusted. I was watching the No Jumper News, the Monday one that just happened on the 31st of March. And guess what? The views are back down to Flacco's Earth. About 2,500 live viewers, maybe 3,000 peak. Flacco has a lot of animosity for his No Jumper co-workers, and they know this. He acted bigger than the program during the whole RICO thing. Couldn't even bless them with a call-in for the Flacco take. But at the same time, the viewers, the fans, didn't want Flacco's takes, didn't want Flacco's opinions or POV. Why? Because he's a big, messy blob of a man that was raised in DJ Academics' live chat in the Twitch stream. He was raised in the Twitch stream of Academics. This is where he decided to form his personality. And through listening, he also formed it by listening to, of all things, rap music. The thing he despises, he hates rappers, which means he hates their music. But at one point, he wanted to be like them. Keep that in mind. As we transition into the Friday No Jumper News show, where Flacco was getting marked out by everybody, even Gunner. Even Gunner is a realer N-word. You know, the white boy that wears Marilyn Manson in like I'm blanking on the rock bands, but like traditional rock band type white and black face paint to concerts, and you know really is in there moshing for real. He probably trains just to mosh. Yeah, he's like as rocker Cali white boy as it gets, or wherever he's from. Even he is blacker than Flacco. But all that colorism aside, it just comes down to real and fake. And everybody is fed up with this fake, big knee, jumbo thigh monster of a person. Everybody's sick of it. And it has nothing to do with his physique. People like Dave Blunt that have met him and sat down with him. No, he's a chill guy. He just should probably lose weight if he wants to be around for longer than a few more years. Flacco is disliked purely because of his lack of intelligence, but he swears he's so pious that he swears he's a genius. He's disliked for that, which leads to irrational arrogance, and then also for his terrible takes that are fueled by childish hatred. You gotta let go of your high school and middle school trauma, Flacco. Yeah. But anyways, the No Jumper News crew, they're probably upset that Flakko came into work on Friday, and they had to have a conversation with him. Otherwise, they won't get a check. So, we're going to watch them all mark out Flakko and push back against everything. And the Remo versus Flakko beef is for real. That might be an episode all in itself. That might have to be a 2-hour joint. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot to unpack there. But for now, let's unpack this.
Oh man, we got the only people who has not been arrested yet. You feel me? We got Lush one. I feel like this next guest don't really need no type of introduction. Right?
You suck at this, dog.
You really are terrible.
What he just had a huge showing with the homie Big KK from Compton. Didn't get clipped out yet.
What did he say?
That wasn't because that wasn't.
That
on the
was a
show.
little bit crazy.
That wasn't on the show. That wasn't on the show.
No, when he said it, say, yo, man, I ain't get stabbed. We do shit to people. And that's why, again, we shouldn't be talking to our friends who are behind bars under federal surveillance on camera.
Keep that same energy with Back on Fig,
That's
Adam 22, and everybody that do it.
They wrong too, right?
See, this is a game that Flakko plays. He tries to act like the good guy just because that's what the comments, all the commenters are saying. The right thing to do is to not even take these jail calls from Brick Baby and Loose Cannon. But see, I watched all the Brick Baby jail calls. I'm not gonna clip them here, but he didn't really say anything wrong. Yeah, he did say what they're quoting him on there about we're the ones that do the damage. But that's like Walter White saying tread lightly. It's not an actual threat. It's not an admission to any crime that was done behind bars. He's just saying, no, I didn't get stabbed. You idiots. I'm in here well protected. I got money, I got notoriety, and I'm from where I'm from. That's what Brick Baby is implying. I am from where I'm from. I was never faking the funk like some people said. I was not a rat like some people said. That's what Brick Baby is implying. Meaning he's good. He's rolling with his people, with his kinfolk behind bars. And unless a riot or something breaks out, there's no real threat to his physical safety outside of everyday life behind bars. He might catch a fade here and there. But if that's all it is, that's all it is. Flakko's trying to run with that because Flakko hates Brick Baby and people like him. Keep that in mind.
Oh, I want to see your video saying how they're wrong.
Listen, bro.
It's federal.
You're
And
saying
y'all
he got
was
your
the
own
fir-
mans. That's crazy.
Again,
He
though.
got his own mans. You feel me?
Y'all were the
Flakko
first
don't-
one,
Flakko
so
don't-
then.
Flakko don't fuck with me.
Here.
Yeah,
y'all
that's
were
off
the
energy.
first.
That's off energy, man.
Y'all were the first, and I covered it the first time. I'm not about to watch 20 call-ins and cover 20 call-ins,
Bro,
bro.
Flakko,
I have better use of my time.
You have better. Hold on. One last thing, Flakko. You saying you have better? You have made more videos on this Big U situation than any YouTuber right now.
No.
So you have a lot of time to cover this shit and talk about everything. You're selecting and choosing based off of who's a gang member and who's not a gang member.
Not about
who you're
to
scared
cover-
of, who you have relationships with. That's who you're picking and choosing on.
Why am I
who you're making
scared
videos
of
on.
T-Rail and AD?
You've been scared of T-Rail and AD.
I'm not watching
You've
it
been
10 times, bro.
T-Rail and AD for years now. And I shout out to both of them, but you pick and
listen,
choose on shit
I
you
think,
say about.
I think he just jocks them. It's more than.
No, I don't fuck with him, but he goes out his way to make sure he don't. You know
I don't think it's fair to require that I make a video every time Loose Cannon call him somewhere. That's just dumb to me.
The video
Y'all
he
were
did,
the first.
hey, the video he did with Adam and them was even worse. If you talk about this,
Wait,
shit.
what, nigga? I didn't see, bro. Listen, bro.
So now you didn't see it.
Nah, he hates all of us secretly.
Y'all clip got
He
200,000
secretly
views.
hates all of us. I know it.
Right?
I give you that, but
Whoa. You see this? He swears he's bigger than the program. Just because when he reads from his teleprompter and has the luxury of doing 5,000 takes before one sounds right, he thinks he's bigger than the program. It just came out. He got pressed just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's not even a full court press. That's like he got picked up at the top of the key. Remo ain't even really pressing you like that. And you just showed your true colors to the whole office. Y'all only did 200,000 views. Meanwhile, yeah, Flakko, you did 500,000 in like one day. Bought it or not, that's impressive. You know what I'm saying? For sure. But I'm gonna keep it a stack. If you can make it through a Flakko video, my channel's not for you. Cause I can't make it through a Flakko, like his actual page. I can't make it through that. I can't just listen to him reading some animated. Let's see if I can do one. Big U was arrested on the morning of blah blah blah. Like, bro, I can't even do it. It's so fake. It's so phony. It's like, who wants to watch this? If you want to watch news, just watch the actual news at that point. Why is he talking like that? Like, even his proper voice when he's reading from the teleprompter is hard to get by. Even though he's not stuttering. It's just crazy. Like, bro, Flakko is the definition of cringe. It's past cringe. It's pure disgust that I feel no matter what form of content he's involved in. Now, I know I'm not the only one. And Adam knows that I'm not the only one that feels this way. I think Flakko's time at No Jumper is coming to a close. And he's going out exactly how we would expect him to go out, like a bitch. He's taking shots at the entire platform. Oh, y'all only did 200,000 views. That's the best views that the No Jumper News has done in a long, long time, which is why it makes it look like you buy views and followers for your channel. Because you go to this channel that, let's say, No Jumper doesn't do what Flakko does, which is buy subs and views, and actually just organically plays the game of YouTube. When you put 4 people in the room and one of those 4 isn't Flakko, the No Jumper News has a 200 view video. When you put Flakko in the room as that 4th person, it gets 30,000 views. With the same other 3 people around. The same set, the same topic. You're failing the test. You're failing the litmus test. You're failing the measuring stick test. But then you have the nerve to point out that they only, in your mind, only did 200,000 views. Not realizing that on this platform that you're trying to shit on, you haven't done 200,000 views. You haven't done 200,000 views on a No Jumper News episode, Flakko. Period. Yeah, you did 500,000 on your personal page, but I'm willing to bet that if Adam22 or some of the other people that were involved in the No Jumper News that he's trying to shit on did a personal upload breaking down the whole situation the same exact way Flakko tries to do a Jamari style commentary video, I'm willing to bet that they would have done 1 million or more views. I'm willing to bet that if Sharp wanted to try to break down the case, he would do at least the same amount of views as what Flakko did. There's so many people that are better than Flakko at what he does. He just has no morals. He's willing to go into the dirt and dig up a body and report on what he saw on the body. AKA, the majority of your subscribers and money came from reporting on the tragic passing of young Dolph. You were just the only guy with so few morals that you were willing to literally not let that man just rest in peace. So flexing views, you look crazy. That's like when Academics tries to flex views on other YouTubers. Well, a lot of us knew about the war in Chirac. You're not some hero because you put a catchy title on it. We all were calling it that already. Talking about it in the workplace. Wow. Do you read the news headlines from Chicago? Do you read the articles? People at the water cooler had been talking about that before Academics ever hopped on camera and made a YouTube video about it. You just went deeper than what people morally were willing to go to. That's not a flex. When you compromise your morals, when you compromise your soul in order to so-called report on something, you're just despicable. Just because the news has a higher standard than that, actual journalists have a higher standard. And remember, I'm no journalist. I'm just giving y'all my opinion, my takes, my little rants. But that is the definition of nasty work. When you're willing to damn near go to the graveyard yourself with a shovel, dig up the body, and put a finger inside the bullet hole, and then go live the next day. That's damn near what Academics and Flakko have made their name off of. I know it's a little dramatic, but for real, think about it. It's really disgusting. And then they have the nerve to turn around and flex on the same people that they help oppress. But that is the ruckus way, I guess.
I know for sure
No.
you definitely seen this shit.
Y'all views
No,
over
nigga,
the
no.
Huh?
Y'all battled over the views right now?
No, he's
he
talking
hates
about.
us. He basically hates
No, who
all
cares,
of
man?
us,
Hey,
and he won't admit it.
No,
Hey.
but the thing is, my point was like obviously Brick's doesn't want to be in the conversation. He's called into one show. You feel me? Other than that,
you hear about like 600 shit, and then Lou said, man, if he said that, he's alright. It's the same shit the feds is gonna treat with Big U doing it, they're gonna treat with Luce doing it. And I'm saying, bro, if we
Beyond
know
that,
the consequences of what they're doing, why not protect people from themselves?
Well,
Why do
beyond
we
that-
go out of our way? Is a clip really worth a nigga doing 20 years?
no, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
And these cats need to get like they have bond hearings coming up and things like that. Like this all your behavior in the interim is what affects you getting granted things like bond, etc. You feel me? So you're absolutely right. However, look, what the coverage that motherfuckers are doing, let's call it what it is, right? It might not be snitching, but it's breadcrumbing. And breadcrumbing is what leads to investigations and what leads to people getting caught the fuck up.
So when they
That's what it is. It's breadcrumbing.
Yo,
So
shout
you
out to
think
that
Brick-
guy.
So do you think Brick wants you to keep bringing that shit up like what you just brought up a few minutes ago? That's a breadcrumb, dog. You feel me? Like
a breadcrumb is
potentially a breadcrumb, dog.
W. Lush. Yes, technically, what simple-minded Jalo is arguing is correct. Most people in their right mind would not be doing any type of podcast interviews from behind bars before they even go to trial. Because if anything, you can just help strengthen the case against you. For sure. You would think that's common sense. Now, just for a little bit of empathy and sympathy, in Loose Cannon and Brick's case, maybe they need to negotiate some deals to be able to get some money to pay the bills at the homes that they've provided. Remember, unlike Flakko, these are actual grown men that provide for their women and for their children. They provide via digital assets, those assets being these podcasts, these interviews. So maybe just to make sure there's enough for the bills and for the lawyer fees, and to still have a little bit of comfort after that, they decided to do what they did. I'm not saying I would do the same, but I'm not in their shoes, so it's not for me to really judge what they're doing. I'm just throwing that out there. But yes, Flakko is technically right about this, but how you go about being right still makes you a piece of shit or not. And you're a piece of shit because look at how you're going about it. You're basically pointing down, all you guys are finally less moral than me, the guy who digs up bodies to report on them. But then see, F all that. Lush then hits him with yeah, you're right, but you're still leaving breadcrumbs to something that the prosecutors and the feds may have not been aware of. Let's say in the same cell block that Brick is in, there was a stabbing that took place. Let's just say, hypothetically, that happened. Now, that makes him calling in and saying what he said, they might look further into it and they might be able to pin something on him. If he was a part of it or not, you might get pinned with something. I would assume that Brick knew there was nothing violent has taken place since he's arrived at the cell block that he's staying in, which is why he said what he said. But who knows if he's in his right mind or not. So if you're supposedly his friend, which we know Flakko is not, we've debunked that. But let's just say in theory, if you're his friend, for the sake of the discussion, why would you do that? Lush is eloquently pointing out how Flakko is being a fake friend. He's trying to appear as a friend, but really he's a foe. And really he might be a FED. Yeah, he just might be. Because remember, one of my early Flakko videos now. Just go on and binge the whole channel, y'all. Because one of my early Flakko joints points out something, how he was ordered by a judge to be deported back to Liberia, but Liberia denied his deportation. That's the only reason why he's still here in America in the first place. In the good old USA. That's the only reason why. Because the country didn't want him. He basically has refugee status. You can't deport a refugee. Where is he going to get deported to? Now, with this administration that's in place now, they might put him in Nicaragua. They might put him over here. They might put him over there if he were to break the law now. But when he was being a cyber terrorist, allegedly, yeah, we pulled the Pacer files and all that in that video. Go check it out if you're new to the channel. I can't remember exactly which one it is right now, but there's only a handful of Flakko videos, so you'll find it if you want to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro's been to a jail himself. Don't let the innocent act fool you. This is no innocent person. It's well documented what he used to do to people on behalf of Dr. Umar Johnson. Yeah. Cyberbully. The big bully. Why? Because hurt people hurt people. Anyone that used to speak out against Umar or Flakko, he would attack. Cyberly, that could then lead to physical threats and harms. Allegedly. It's just a little something I found in my research of the guy. But anyways, let's let this clip get to its conclusion so you can watch Flakko sit across from a different lawyer. He's not going to sit across from Rosenberg in this one, in this old No Jumper clip. He's going to sit across from a different one, and this is right after the young Dolph passing. Right after Flakko's biggest check. Remember, this is the guy that once rapped on maybe a parody song, maybe a serious song. A rapper died and I made 100 bands. Yeah, Jalo rapped that. He wrote it himself too. Strange thing to brag about when you've made your name and fame and your fortune off of the passing of rappers.
Clip it out. Again, a breadcrumb is you clip it out. A breadcrumb isn't me say, hey, bruh, why y'all ain't clip that out? Hey, bruh, why did he call off camera and we convinced him to come and speak on camera?
Seed, that's planting the seed that grew the wheat that became the bread. You feel me? That's the yeast that became the bread that became the breadcrumb. That's
y'all are void of accountability. Have you been following this young Dolph case?
Not particularly, no. I know not really.
Yeah, man, because like the internet kind of like solved it before everybody else, right?
Yeah. Specifically, when he says the internet, he means him. He got millions and millions of views of sort of pondering who may have been involved.
Honestly, though, right? I kind of caught it. So right, so like we found like a music. So pretty much like what broke the case open was they found a car, like a getaway vehicle at a particular house.
Right, I saw that.
Yeah, so pretty much, we went through like the music videos, that was like thrown there, and we pretty much said, it was straight drops, et cetera. Now he got arrested, and one other dude that we also named, he got arrested as well. But now, like, what's your take on the internet solving crimes before it happened? Like, is that the place of YouTubers? Like, should YouTubers really be out here trying to solve crimes for the police? Nah, man, stay away.
Yo, I do this shit. I have interjected myself into these stories, but I'm going to make a value judgment. I report on publicly recorded events and happenings in the courtroom as they play out. The internet speculation with the YouTube videos, with the fucking voiceovers, and this guy knows this guy, and I see him holding this gun. I don't know what y'all are doing.
Look at this, bro. This dude looks like a Fed, and he's disgusted with Flakko's activity online. He's dressed like a damn FBI agent for his No Jumper interview. And when Flakko asks, should YouTubers be doing the police work online, shakes his head 3 times. Nah is like, I'm disgusted. Then he elaborates, what are y'all doing? I don't know, what are y'all doing? Instantly uncomfortable. Instantly disgusted by what's sitting across from him. Not because of his big, nasty knees being out, while also wearing a windbreaker, which, like, were you trying to show off how how curvy you are or something, pause. It's not professional attire. But attire and physique aside, the content of what's going on in your mind, the context of what's in your mind, the content of your character is so garbage that somebody that looks like a Fed is disgusted by you. Nah.
But do you think that it's a realistic proposal that the cops would be tuned in to what the YouTube commentators or the people who are trying to solve crimes are talking about, and that they're actually picking up leads from that? Or do you think that it's usually the case where the cops who are on the ground and have access to all kinds of technology and all kinds of shit that the YouTubers don't have probably know more than the YouTubers most of the time?
No, the cops are using the YouTubers.
They are. You're not supposed to be proud of that.
Well,
Bro, this dude literally has no place. He has no place anywhere. He's proud that the cops may have used his video. I alluded to this earlier, but check out what happens next. He's about to say he's owed some money. He's so proud of himself, he believes that he deserves the $200,000 that led to the arrest of the people that were responsible for those horrible acts. He thinks he's a superhero. You ain't no superhero. You a big back bison that loves the snitch. That does not make you a superhero. Even people that work in law are disgusted by you. People that talk about things that are closed cases and things of that nature are disgusted by you. Because you're out here trying to be the police on the internet without formally being the police. You're doing their job for them. You just praised doing their job for them. And this, keep in mind, I did a 2-hour, I misspoke earlier, it wasn't a 1 hour, I did a 2-hour video recently on how Flakko has a documented history of doing the police work for the police. I didn't find this clip in that video. I found it for this one. I'm sure there's more out there. This is the definition of nasty work in the words of YBG. Anyways, let's get back into that No Jumper news clip before we wrap this one up.
No. So I will say this though, because they was offering like a 200,000 for anybody with information. Again, I was one of the first. I will gladly claim that I was the first one to name Straight Drop as a suspect. Now I'm kind of like, damn, bro, like if they use something, like my shit, they should not have rights to the 200,000 they was claiming as a reward to any information.
Yeah, you should hire a lawyer and make a claim. Absolutely.
Hey, man.
But it doesn't putting it out there publicly kind of like void the likelihood of you getting that reward?
Most likely.
Yeah, right. Like if you had made those videos and put them on a hard drive and walked on over to the police station and said, "Here you go,"
straight like that. You're just not going to get it. You're not going to fully understand. And I don't expect y'all to have street etiquette to understand. You feel me? So,
yeah. Like for example, right? So look, bro, I'm fat, right?
Well said. Why?
No. Look, and I'm fat, right? And
you're finally in
again.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I didn't hear that.
Oh my God.
Wait, what'd you say?
It's like me telling Josh, "Hey, Josh, I'm on a diet. I'm trying to lose weight." And then Josh brings
telling me that for years.
No, wait though.
Yeah.
It's like me telling Josh, "Hey, bro, I'm trying to lose weight," and then Josh brings 30 cans of Kentucky Fried Chicken and Popeyes.
Cans?
That's racist.
That's cans
racist.
of 30 cans?
Why can't you say like cheesecake
You're
or
an
something?
adult. Make your own decisions, Flakko.
Yeah.
Nah, that's wrong, bro.
30 cans of KFC and cheese.
No, I'm just saying, no, right? Again, if you bring
Somebody
in
make a
all
gift
the
of that.
fried chicken, the donuts, and then say,
dude, what the
you're
hell?
an adult, Flakko. Make your own decisions.
Yeah.
It's obviously cruel.
Yeah.
It's cruel and unusual, though, to me tell you that I'm trying to lose weight.
Hey, Shereice is calling in.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
All right.
All right, y'all. So there's like a bonus clip from that same episode of the Friday News. But just to close it out, Flakko is insensitive to the face of somebody who, their spouse might spend the rest of their life behind bars. We don't know what's going to happen with the charges and then, actually going to court and fighting the charges or whatever, however that might take place, trying to just get as few years as possible, whatever route they go legally, we don't know. And you're over here laughing in this lady's face about her husband being swept up in a RICO. That's how we started it, which is just disgusting. And how do we end it? With a disgusting clip from like 2 years ago of Flakko being proud to, help with the police doing their jobs, and people saying that's too far. That's morally unsound. I have morals. I won't do that. And this is somebody that entire like online presence is around like true crime and shit, I believe. And he's like a lawyer and stuff, an actual lawyer. And he's saying that's too far, bro. You're disgusting. I'll never speak to you again. But then on top of that, my main closing thought here really is just these 3 clips that, we made it to the hour mark on. I didn't even mean to. Appreciate y'all for making it this far. My closing thoughts is that everybody in the No Jumper news is ganging up against Flakko, but everybody in No Jumper in general is, because even they know that now that things got real, they have to speak out against Flakko. Otherwise, there will be a mass unfollowing of No Jumper, and I don't think they deserve that. I think they've been pumping out some really good content. Obviously, I've been enjoying covering No Jumper. I want to expand into other places more than just No Jumper. If you guys have any recommendations on who or what shows I should start covering more, I'm leaning towards leaning into this Viral Way versus Fig Community World beef. I think the Viral Way deserves some coverage. They're independent black creators that are for the culture, from the culture, and for the culture, and I mess with that. So I think I'll be giving them some coverage for sure. But other than that, let me know, like, who would y'all like to hear my commentating on, because I never intended for this to only be like a No Jumper reaction channel only, right? That was never the intent of this channel. So let me know. I'll take some viewer recommendations in the comments. I'll whatever, like super like my favorite ones that you guys recommend. But yeah, I think everybody in the building is just sick of Flakko. It's a bad look. He's bad for business at this point. His firing is pending, but I think they're gonna try to like push him out the door, because you can't really just fire him. He seems like the type of hoe to try to hit you with the wrongful firing suit on top of that, so you got to make him quit. But he's literally bad for business at this point. People already don't want to come up because the building's hot right now. So it's gonna make it tough for interviews. It's gonna make it tough for having certain podcast guests on. But then you have this dude who has a track record of basically saying he wants to do the police work for the police. He wants to get rappers locked up. Even rappers, like, I could kind of get if he took the stance of like, well, they did a horrific act at a place of business, and that's why I felt so passionately to get them off the streets. That would be kind of respectable. But that's not even his take on why he was so happy to get the young Dolph, unalivers off the streets, or play a part in that. His take is not even from a moral standpoint or like from a community-based standpoint. It's from a purely selfish, greedy, and clout-chasing type of standpoint. Like, oh yeah, I'm helping the police and I made a big bag off of it. And on top of that, he would gladly make, 100,000, 200,000 off of helping the police in other ways directly if he could. So it's just all around disgusting, honestly. Like, I don't know if you guys are gonna laugh much during this one or whatever, but hopefully it was informative, a deeper look into who's behind those thighs. Pause. And I'll see you on the next one.
It's not centered around gangbanging. So when I do things, I'm not even thinking about gangbanging.
All your content is centered around gangbanging.
Hell no.
Yes,
No
it is.
content of mine is gangbanging.
Yes, it is.
Sure, look.
Most of your content is about gangbanging.
So, all right,
Never.
so if you was to do content, and your content pertained to nobody that lives the gang life, how would you be doing?
Amazing.
Lies.
Like prior to this, I was again. Here's the last 20. Well, again, because again, this is the big U shit. So it looks kind of bad,
they
but
can't come from no gang culture. Like who's on your profile that you talk about that's not from gang culture?
and that's different though, right? Here's what meaning this,
No,
okay?
it's not.
No.
You can't pick
No.
and choose your battles, bro.
No, okay, for
Come on
example,
now,
right,
brother,
right,
man.
right.
No.
Look though.
Just be like, hell yeah,
I
I'm
don't
making
think-
money
no,
off
listen,
of all
though.
you.
Exactly.
don't-
yeah, exactly.
And I hate you
Fucking right.
guys.
No.
Yeah. And I hate you guys.
And I hate you guys.
No, listen though.
Speak
I
your
don't think
truth.
Twitter-
Hear that party.
Yeah.
Nah, listen, no, but I'm really wanted though. You feel
Oh, really?
really want
By
it?
who?
me? Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you're so scared of all these gang members, why do you talk about them so much?
Wait, pause. Who's scared of gay members?
You.
No.
So do you think
wanted
Big
by?
U should be in jail? Because I heard you talk a lot of shit about a whole bunch of other people.
Sure.
Do you believe Big U should be in jail? And is it bad? Because I've heard
If he's guilty, lock him up. Yeah.
No,
if he's guilty.
your coverage of the Big U situation has been really light on things that you say about Big U, but
It's
I've
been the
heard
exact same as my other coverage.
No,
Like
I've heard you call people pieces of shit and all type
Lock
of
this
shit.
animal
Lock
away.
him up. He's an animal. He doesn't. This is diabolical.
If listen. White folks love black on black crime. I don't. Okay.
Yo,
I don't. So no, I'm
I
not
don't
white.
think anyone likes violence.
Of course they do.
No, they don't.
Do you think you
I think you get a little excited when you
Without
see
black on
certain
black
Yes.
crime.
like if you see
What?
certain shit, you be like, oh, like I want, like, I
No.
want to push your, like,
Literally,
thought.
no
I
one
hate
gets
black
more
on black
excited
crime.
than you.
Huh?
No one gets more excited than you.
Hell no. Listen, bro.
Cause he finna monetize this shit. He just
No,
showed
what
me
you
that.
mean?
The nigga just made an extra 3K while we was sitting here.
Yeah. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
right?
I'm gonna holler at you after this.
Hell nah. Listen.
And Flacco's thighs are gangbanging.
Yeah, that was a funny one.
He thought he was in control. How wrong he was.